I will go through all of today's Tesla stock news, and I seriously can't believe Elon actually just did this. He posted he loves Canada, and I approve that message as a Canadian, but the problem is his t-shirt also says that, and some of the letters, unfortunately, are hidden. Yeah, that post has gotten a lot of views in just a few hours. This was just posted, so that's Elon for you, everybody. Drive Tesla Canada is reporting that the refresh Model 3 is likely to have a front bumper camera. And right here you can see a little bump, and this is probably the camera. We don't know with 100% certainty, but it looks quite likely. That's a feature that I really want personally, because if I'm parking in a very tight space and I want to be this close from the wall, let's say, it's a bit difficult to do that right now. But with the camera, it's going to be so easy. We have a new Cybertruck sighting with new covers on the wheels. What do you think about them? I think the reflections were making them look a little weird earlier, but looking closer here, I think they look pretty good. What do you think? This is Vancouver, Canada, where I live, and these are all Teslas. It's a whole sea of Teslas. So many Teslas. This at first appears like bad news, but there is important context to this. It is reported that Tesla's Model 3 and Model Y models in Hong Kong will have another price cut on August 4th. This report sounds fishy. Normally, Tesla does not announce they will cut prices at some featured day because new buyers would just wait. If they are going to cut prices, they just cut. It could, of course, be an insider leak, but the Hong Kong Economic Times reported in April of this year that a similar price cut would happen a few days later, but it never did. Chevy prices 2024 Blazer EV all-wheel drive from $56,500 as deliveries start, which is, a little bit interesting. Because the most expensive Tesla Model Y you can buy today is cheaper than the least expensive Chevy Blazer EV available today. You look at the dollar price of 1 mile that you get from the vehicle, and Tesla is pretty good, but Chevy, it's a little bit behind also. Chevy cars are just not going to be as fast as Teslas. To me, it seems more likely that this new GM vehicle will just help sell Tesla more Teslas, because before you buy a vehicle, you usually compare it to the most popular alternative, the Tesla Model Y, and it just really doesn't make much sense to buy that GM vehicle after comparing it to the Tesla Model Y. Tesla is about to open a pretty big 76,000 square foot sales and service center in Providence, Rhode Island. Tasmanian is reporting that Tesla has completed its planned $76 million takeover of German wireless electric vehicle charging technology company. According to the website, the company now operates as Tesla Engineering Germany GmbH. I think many Tesla owners have experienced at least once forgetting to plug in their Tesla vehicle in the evening and then getting into their vehicle in the morning and realizing that the battery is not really charged. If we have wireless charging, this would change. You would never need to even worry about it. Gary Black earlier didn't really make a big deal of Tesla potentially licensing FSD. He said that, Tesla mentioned before that they were in talks with another automaker about licensing autopilot. This was a few years ago and nothing came out of it, and therefore Gary seemed to be quite skeptical about this time. But look at what Gary's posting now. When the first OEM signs an FSD licensing deal with Tesla, shorts will scramble. It really does seem, and I said this yesterday, that Gary is appearing to be a little bit more bullish every month, every quarter, certainly about Tesla's full self-driving. This is a welcome Tesla software update. Tesla will lower climate fan speeds while on a call, add ability to pause PWS and reposition backup camera. In my previous Mercedes, if my AC fan speed was turned up pretty high, creating a lot of noise, the car would actually lower the fan speed to a level where I could actually easily talk on the phone. That was pretty nice, and I didn't know I needed it until I actually experienced it, and now seeing Tesla add that feature makes me feel really good. Especially because with Teslas, it's a little bit hard to adjust the speed of the fans because you sort of have to go through the menus and everything. But this is a very good change. Securing future lithium supply is important, and we just found out that Tesla is in talks with Exxon. The talks, though, are still in early stages. I like this product idea, so they put an adapter, and normally you don't want to drive away if your Tesla is plugged in, but if you put this adapter on the charger, then you can actually do it, no problem. Remember that story from a few days ago? The superconductor breakthrough that could potentially be the biggest physics discovery of a lifetime. If it happened, there are a few ways that it would benefit Tesla for sure, and when I made the video about it, there was a 19% chance it was going to turn out to be true, and that chance is now up to 24%. This is all based on the probabilities from a website where you can actually bet money to say, yeah, this is going to turn out to be true, or no, this is not going to be true. I took a screenshot just now. It was at 32%. It appears that as I speak, there are some positive developments potentially happening. Reuters is reporting that Toyota will strengthen development of electric vehicles technology in China as it looks to catch up with increasingly tough domestic competition in the world's largest auto market. Well, good luck with that. Toyota earlier this month fired about 1,000 contract workers, and it slowed down production of its EV. This is a bit weird, but Mercedes says that they will have to increase prices because it needs to offset its increased costs. Well, for Tesla, the costs are going down, but for Mercedes, The used Tesla index on Car Gurus recently dropped below $43,000 for the first time. This week, it could hit 37% off last year's peak. S&P Global Mobility released this chart. They are basically predicting that in China in 2030, EVs will be about 60% of the new cars sold, which of course is great for Tesla. This just shows you how good Teslas are. Tesla owner had a scary near-miss moment when a kid was running towards the middle of the street from the front of a parked vehicle. Autopilot was not engaged, but Tesla's active safety feature pulled the vehicle to the right to avoid hitting the child. Owner said he was in panic and didn't steer away. The vehicle was traveling at about 30 miles an hour. So if you want to be safe, get yourself a Tesla. Not only for your own safety, but for other people's safety too. Remember these ridiculous laws in Connecticut that prevented Tesla from opening new locations in Connecticut? But then we know that Tesla worked around these crazy laws by making a deal with a local tribe. However, politicians are threatening that tribe, and they say they can make life very uncomfortable for that particular tribe.
Because there are a lot of laws that we have in Connecticut that they can make an end around, and then there's a lot of things Connecticut can do to make life very uncomfortable for the sovereign tribes.
So it is certainly possible that Tesla could face some issues in Connecticut. Tesla filed a new permit for its Fremont factory for the demolition of existing equipment and installation of new equipment. So the short shutdown that we saw in Fremont just now, that was certainly not the whole thing for this quarter. There is certainly more to come. Sawyer says this is so much better. You can now schedule service, track progress, and manage pickup, drop off via the Tesla app. The EV adoption rate in Japan is not exactly the highest, but Uber is buying 100 Tesla Model Ys to deploy in Tokyo. Alexandra Mers just spoke at Tesla Takeover and she made a few predictions. Here they are.
So we had this earnings call a week ago, and this was the first time that Tesla had sales of $25 billion for a quarter. So that makes it $100 billion in a year. For those $100 billion, we can expect somewhere between $10 and $12 billion of profits this year. Currently, energy has about 6% of that, okay? 6%, the cars and the services around is 94%. And this year, we're going for 1.8 million cars. So we just discussed where we should be in 3 years. Let me put that in numbers. I think we'll be at 5 million cars, so that's 3 times what we have now. The energy will then add 20%, not 6%. FSD will add 10%. So sales will be at 350 billion. Just told you we were at 100 billion now, 350 billion in 3 years for 45 billion of profits.
If I oversimplify everything and take that $45 billion profit prediction, multiply it by 55 times, which would be the PE ratio, let's say, that would result in a market cap of about $2.5 trillion, which would basically roughly triple Tesla's stock. And if you assign a much higher PE ratio, for example, today Tesla is trading at 76 pretty much, then that number goes quite a bit higher. Elon Musk's mom spoke at Tesla takeover event as well, and I assume the interview is going to be posted on the Tesla owner Silicon Valley YouTube channel. It's not out yet, but if it will be posted there, I'm really looking forward to watching it. They are removing the X sign from the X office building, which was formerly a Twitter office building, probably because, you know, if I was a neighbor and I saw that thing flashing like that, I would probably, if I was trying to sleep, I would certainly not be happy with that sign. So, yeah. I saw a little video of one guy filming through his window and the X sign flashing. It didn't look like he had good curtains, so probably he didn't sleep much that night. And YouTube says you should watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching this Elon Musk interview, watch this one first. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.